Hello and welcome to Video Game Vision Quest. You're watching Synchronicity Cinema, and we're here to talk about a lot of strange things. A couple weeks ago, as part of the nightclubs update, the After Hours update, the Gay Tony update, in Grand Theft Auto Online, a mission appeared from an unknown source asking me to kill 25 people with a stone hatchet. Not only that, killing these people with this stone hatchet would in fact activate this stone hatchet in Red Dead Redemption 2. There was a similar mission like this a few weeks before involving the gold double action pistol, which we completed. But for the stone hatchet mission, we delayed a little. Do we really want to go killing again, we thought? Do we really want to go on another murder spree? Is that really what our character is all about? What's motivating this? So at first I didn't do it. I put it off. I wanted to get in the right headspace for it. I kept putting it off and putting it off, trying to think of a good reason. Trying to get into that right zone. But it kept coming back to me. I couldn't completely forget about it. It was tugging at me, tugging at my mind. It kept coming up. And the fact that this created a time travel circuit between Grand Theft Auto 5 and therefore all the Grand Theft Auto games and Red Dead Redemption 2 and therefore all the Red Dead Redemption games was too much to resist. Our actions here affect the actions of cowboys hundreds of years, well, sorry, not hundreds. Our actions here affect the actions of a cowboy or a cowgirl 100 years before. By killing 25 people here in the future, we could affect things 100 years in the past. Isn't that strange? Too strange, too much to resist. And so finally I decided to go for it. And who would be the right people to kill? Who would be the right people to pick out with a hatchet? Like that. And so I got to thinking, who's most deserving of it? And which would have the biggest effect on the world? Which had the biggest positive effect on the world? Now, normally I would never associate killing with positive effect, but there is a precedent in this game. There are missions given by Lester to Franklin telling him to assassinate 5 very powerful public business figures whose actions are hurting a lot of people. And I thought, if Lester and Franklin are doing it, then I think that justifies my character doing it as well here online. And so, we headed down to the IAA, aka the CIA, and the FIB and Maze Bank. I had a good exploration talking about all the ways the CIA and the banks spread hatred and chaos and war and murder all over the world. Talked about CIA agents running drugs, bankers funding violent uprisings, all that good stuff. Got really into it. It was a very fun mission, and secretly, or not even secretly, overtly yet unstated, it was about time travel. How did killing these criminals, these monsters here in the future, affect things in the past? What is the time travel circuit connecting it? Who can say? But one thing that happened that was very interesting, one fantastic synchronicity that occurred after playing this fantastic time travel mission with deep emotional significance. That's one thing I want to emphasize When strange things like this happen, it's usually as a result, or it usually involves deep emotion, like getting deep into the character, deep into the story. And so, one very interesting thing that happened after this deep interaction with the story, this deep time travel strangeness, one interesting thing that happened the very next day, as I was setting up a Tumblr to talk about quite a lot of things, synchronicities in fact, and magic and the occult, and video games. As I was setting that up, one of the very first images I came across was this.
Timerider.
After all that time riding around on a motorcycle, changing the world, and helping a cowboy and a cowgirl in the past, I saw this. Timerider, a movie I'd never heard of before, featuring a motorcycle rider with cowboys right there, a time-traveling motorcycle rider. So here I am, riding around Los Santos on a motorcycle with my motorcycle helmet, and on top of all of that, wearing wireframe. Literally wearing wireframe, just like the time-traveling motorcycle rider in this picture.
Timerider, the adventure of Lyle Swan.
Isn't that fantastically strange? A fantastically strange synchronicity that I just couldn't resist following up on. I knew I had to look up this movie. And so I did.
Where did you get this, man?
And the movie is fantastic. The movie is absolutely fantastic. It really is.
Timerider.
Timerider. The Adventures of Lyle Swan. There I am, on a mission that affects the Old West. On a mission that helps some cowboys in the Old West. That helped a lot of people in the Old West. And then I see this Timerider poster. Synchronicities are a pretty fun way to find new movies, and I'm glad I did because this movie is excellent. The performances are cool. The plot is simple yet brilliant. It's written by one of the monkeys. And the plot involves a monkey. In the movie, Lyle Swan, played by Fred Ward, is in the middle of a giant race through the desert. And he ends up crossing paths with a time travel experiment in which scientists were trying to send a monkey into the past. Lyle Swan went instead of the monkey and ended up on a fantastic adventure. I love the way that time travel is shown in this. The blue energy is kind of an epsilonism synchronicity for me, but beyond that, I love the way that the people in the past interpret this time traveler arriving. Like, he might as well be a space alien to them. The very first guy who sees him just dies. And one of the best scenes in the entire movie is the reaction that the second set of people to see him has, because it's so brilliantly done. The three people in that scene are Peter Coyote, Richard Mazer, and Tracy Walter, and they nail it. Mazer and Walter are in the process of confronting Coyote, who plays Porter Reese, and they're like, this is like an encounter that might end in violence. Like, they're talking to him about one of their friends who just died, and they're about ready to turn on him, and he's about ready to throw down on them, and then this guy in this motorcycle suit appears behind them on the horizon. They've never seen a motorcycle suit before, and they freak out. They freak out, and they do it so well. The entire movie is worth seeing just for that amazing scene. I love the idea of time traveler appearing as an alien. Like someone from the future would be so confusing that we couldn't even comprehend them, which was a major plot point of The Invisibles, a series about time travel and magic. So yeah, the villains are fantastic in this. The hero plays it brilliantly. No one even realizes there's time travel happening except for the scientists. Everyone else has no idea that it's happening. I love the way they end up in a church filled with mass. That's kind of an interesting symbolic point on his journey. Yeah, Epsilon Blue energy, first time travel energy, personal synchronicity. And what was really funny is there's actually a scene where he says he's from Los Angeles, but it really sounds like he's saying Los Santos. I know he's saying Los Angeles, but I actually had, and this is Fred Ward saying it, to Belinda Bauer, who plays Claire Signe and who nails it, who is astonishing. She's astonishing in it. So Lyle Swan is saying to Claire, I'm from Los Angeles, but it really sounds like he's saying Los Santos. Like, I had to slow it down just to make sure I wasn't crazy. And that cracked me up. It's a total accident, but that's the fun of synchronicity type things. Fun accidents happen, and that cracked me up. And Yeah, this amazing movie about time traveling to the past, to the cowboy era, is just too cool. It's just such a fantastically perfect movie. I highly recommend everyone see it. Like, seriously, go check it out. And I love that it showed up as this major synchronicity right after I was doing this time travel mission where I was riding around on a motorcycle dressed in wireframe to help a bunch of cowboys in the past. Some coincidences are just too fun to ignore. It's just too much fun. And you're doing that time travel magic in the game, and then to see these synchronistic explosions from it, the synchronistic waves expanding from it, especially when it involves cowboys and time travel, it makes my day. So let's see what Doctor Who says the Timerider is. Over at Whopedia, if you look up Timerider, you will read, Timeriders rode the time winds of the vortex. They traveled in packs. The vortex is the place at which time and space meet, intersecting at an angle determined by non-Euclidean geometry. All time travelers pass through the vortex. The time winds, where temporal radiation caused anomalies and glitches in space-time. Perfect for glitch magic. Time riders rode the time winds of the vortex. Time riders ride the time winds of the vortex. Time riders ride the time winds of the vortex. One word for riding the waves of the time vortex is synchronism. One way of seeing the waves of the time vortex is synchronism. Opening your third eye to visions. Opening your third eye to the universe. Opening yourself to the universe. It's a great way to explore the universe. It's a great way to explore video games. And it's a great way to find new movies. Peace and love and sexiness and grooviness. The Chiliad mystery is in all of us. This is Video Game Vision Quest. I'm out of here. Ooh, wait. This is Video Game Vision Quest. I'm time traveling on a motorcycle.
Where'd these come from? Tinker toys, mostly. See, I hang with technoid types. We party and they come up with all this Bonnaroo boogie.